I know you asked this a lot, Governor, but a lot of people who aren't familiar with the story, they're just getting their arms around it. Was there anything on that tapes, in your view, besides maybe some coarse language, that would at least appear incriminating, or that you were trying to take advantage of your position to exact some favors from those in Washington?
Let me say two things. Number one, there's no criminal activity whatsoever in any conversations I had. I never, ever intended to commit any criminal violations. I don't believe anybody on the telephone calls with me intended any of that either. However, and I'd like to be able to recite chapter and verse some of these tapes, but again, the accusers have gone to court and have prevented me even from telling you precisely what's on those tapes. So at a press conference a little over a year ago where they took some snippets of conversations and said things like effing golden, took them out of context, which would lead reasonable people to think that the next line is, I want $10 million in a Swiss bank account,
you didn't want
which incidentally is not the case.
You did sense and seem to appreciate, even if taken out of context, sir, and you're quite right, maybe that's what happened, to appear to want to leverage this. Did you? Were you?
I have a book out called The Governor, as you say. I write about the Senate seat, and in the book I talk about what the decision was that I made. Routine political deal, where the decision I made, first choice, was to appoint the Attorney General of Illinois, the daughter of my political nemesis, on one condition. Her father, the Democratic House Speaker here, pass a capital program, a public works program that would put 500,000 people to work, expand health care to anywhere from 50,000 to 300,000 people in Illinois, and promise not to raise taxes.
I understand, but in selecting Mr. Burris, now what has since come out is whether he was trying to strike a deal with you. Is that true?
That isn't true, and when I selected Roland Burris, that was after I had been arrested. It's after everything had changed, and I still had a constitutional responsibility to pick a senator and not undermine the state of Illinois. And then I went to what my preference was from the very beginning, and that was to choose an African-American, because there are no African-Americans in the United States Senate, with the exception now of Roland Burris.
I'm not even asking about your role then, and what you were doing, but did he at any time try to curry favor or financial favor with you in any way to get that nod?
No, he did not. Not with me. Absolutely not.
When you say not with you, how about with any of your people,
honorable.
Your chief of staff or anyone?
I have no knowledge of any of that. And I think, again, Roland Burris has been a victim of a political witch hunt. And I write in my book how ironic it was that the Democratic leaders, my senior senator Dick Durbin and Harry Reid, that in the age of Obama, when I'm making an African-American senator, they won't even let him in, the most exclusive club in the world. And there is Roland Burris, a man who served his state and his constituency well for generations, and he's kept out in the rain as if he were James Meredith trying to get into Ole Miss. And there's Harry Reid and the modern Democratic Party of the United States acting like these guys are, Harry Reid and Dick Durbin, like they're governors of the old segregationist South.
Well, then what do you think, Governor? Everybody turned on you. All the Democrat leaders, all the folks that you campaigned for and supported, they all turned on you, and you were like the fish that started stinking. And they still treat you that way. Let's say you beat this trial thing, you beat this indictment thing that could be coming up from the feds. Do you ever want back in politics?
You know, Neil, I've spent my whole adult life as a prosecutor, as a state lawmaker, congressman, and then as a two-term governor for 6 years, serving people and working for people. And even in this wilderness that I'm in, I have a radio show, I wrote a book, and I'm doing different things to try to continue to push the causes that I fought for and the kinds of things that help ordinary people. So to answer your question, I am not writing myself off as someone who's going to be in the mix to be able to fight and work for the same kind of people that I did when I was governor and a congressman. Our senior citizens take public transportation for free in Illinois. I got that done. I had to fight for it. All of our kids get access to comprehensive health care in Illinois. I fought for that. I got that done. More people got health care under me in my state than any governor ever in history. I had to fight to get that done. We did that. I did not raise taxes on people in Illinois. I fought the establishment, and I told the Bank of America the day before my arrest that if they don't keep the promise to the taxpayers when the taxpayers bailed them out and provided lines of credits to a small business that had 45 workers that were losing their jobs before the Christmas holidays.
No, I remember that. Oh, by the way, I do remember that very well, Governor, and you were right to point it out.
It was the day before I was arrested. It's very peculiar.
Did you know what was going to come out the next day?
I had no idea. I suspended business with the Bank of America, $2 billion. They finally got the message. That leverage, that pressure forced them to do the right thing for that business and help those workers. And then at 6 o'clock the next morning, I have FBI agents in the home of a governor where his little girls are sleeping. That's never, ever happened before. And that was the beginning of the false accusations and this journey that I'm on, which ultimately will end with a good result because I have on my side the power of the simple truth.
All right, Governor, we'll watch it closely. And you know, people who agree or disagree, you're not afraid to talk about it, and you take on all questions. So, Governor, thank you very much. Good having you.
Well, good luck to you, Neil. Thanks for having me.
All right, Governor Rod Blagojevich. A lot of news could be coming at him in 2010. Meanwhile, so 8 days to get 4 votes.